Hi guys, I'm going to read you another story today. We're going to read Eric Carle's kind of little board book, but today we're going to be working on the story Pancakes by Eric Carle. And this is a really fun story. I like sharing with you some stories that we don't normally read from Eric Carle because you might be familiar with a lot of his stories, but this is a different one that he has written that's just kind of fun. You know, Eric Carle's written so many fun books that it's fun to just explore some of the different ones that he's written. And so, pancakes. And so we're gonna read that today. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. And he has his little dedication, Pancakes by Eric Carle. It starts off and it says, "Kikiriki," crowed the rooster. Jack woke up, looked out the window, and thought, "I'd like to have a big pancake for breakfast." How many of you have thought of that before? Some mornings you just want a pancake. And after you read this story, you'll want one. Jack's mother was already up and busy. "Mother," Jack said, "I'd like to have a big pancake for breakfast." "I'm busy, and you will have to help me," she said. "How can I help?" asked Jack. "We'll need some flour," she replied. "Take a sickle and cut as much wheat as the donkey can carry. Then take it to the mill. The miller will grind it into flour." When Jack had cut enough wheat, he put it on the donkey's back and took it to the miller. So if you can see, she said to use a sickle. So this right here is called a sickle, and it's almost like this curved knife that farmers they probably don't use them as much now as they did back a long time ago in the past, but it's like a sharp knife that he could go out and he could cut the wheat at the bottom, and then, you know, of course he attached it to his donkey's back, but he used that sickle to cut the wheat. Then he has to take it to the millers to get it ground into flour, which I can connect to our story, The Little Red Hen. Remember when we read The Little Red Hen? And she was trying to get the other animals to help, and she grew the corn. Hers was corn, but she still had to take it to the miller to get it ground into corn. "So can you grind this wheat for me?" he asked. "I need it for a big pancake." "First, we must separate the grain from the chaff," said the miller. He gave Jack a flail and spread the wheat onto the ground. The miller took another flail out and began to beat the wheat with it. Jack helped with the threshing, and soon there was a big pile of straw and chaff and a small pile of grain. So there they have their flails. Look at this. So they have their flails, and they've laid all of the wheat out on the ground, and they just take and they beat the wheat with these flails so it separates the chaff and the straw, and then they get the little grains. Doesn't sound like an easy job so far. I hope he gets his pancake. The miller poured the grain on a large flat stone. On top of it was a round millstone connected to the water wheel on the outside. The water wheel turned round and round, turning the millstone round and round too, to grind the grain into flour. At last, the miller handed Jack a bag of flour. So we have the water wheel, and as the water turns, it turns the stone that grinds the flour. "Here's the flour," shouted Jack. "Let's make a pancake." But his mother said, "Now we need an egg." Jack went to the black hen and fed her some grain that had slipped into his pocket while he had been threshing. "Cluck, cluck," said the black hen, and went inside the hen house. Then she said, "Cluck, cluck," once more, and laid an egg. "Here's an egg," shouted Jack. "Let's make a pancake." But his mother said, "Now we need some milk." Jack went to the spotted cow and began to milk her. "Moo, moo," said the spotted cow as the milk squirted into the pail. I wonder what they need next. So he went and got the flour. We got the egg, you got the milk. Let's see what more they need. Here's the milk, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, we need some butter. Jack got out the butter churn and held it between his knees. His mother scooped the cream from the top of the milk and put it into the butter churn. Jack pushed the churn handle up and down, up and down. Finally, the cream turned into butter. Here's the butter, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, we need to build a fire. Jack went to the woodshed and brought some firewood. I don't know about you, but at this point, I'd be like, I think I'm done with the pancake. But Jack really wants that pancake, kiddos. Here's the firewood, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, wouldn't you like to have something sweet on your pancake? So Jack went down to the cool cellar and pulled a jar of strawberry jam from one of the shelves. Here's the strawberry jam, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. In the kitchen, Jack's mother had filled the table with the flour, the egg, the milk, the butter. There was also a mixing bowl, a cup, a wooden spoon, a ladle, a frying pan, a plate, a knife, fork and spoon, and a jar of strawberry jam. And his mother said, put a cupful of flour into the bowl, break an egg into the flour and stir. Pour a cupful of milk over the flour and eggs and stir again until the batter is smooth and without lumps. Jack's mother heated the frying pan over the fire and added a piece of butter. The butter melted fast. Then she said to Jack, now pour a ladleful of batter into the hot pan. So there are two things happening here, and I want you to think about those two things, okay? After a minute or two, she looked at the underside of the pancake. It was golden brown. Now watch, she said. I'll turn the pancake over. Ready? Ready, shouted Jack. Flip, said his mother. Up and over went the pancake high into the air and landed right in the pan. In another minute or two, the pancake was crisp on the underside as well. Then she slipped the pancake from the frying pan onto the plate and spread some strawberry jam on it. And now, Jack, his mother started to say, but Jack said, oh, Mama, I know what to do now. The end. All right, so in the story, Jack learns how to make a pancake from scratch. Now, have you ever heard that term before? If someone says, I made it from scratch, what do you think that means when someone says they make something from scratch? Well, a lot of the things that we can make, boys and girls, can come from boxes. Like I think of if I want to make brownies, sometimes I can go to the store and buy a brownie mix in a box, and it already has some of the ingredients in it, and I just have to add a few more ingredients. But if you're making something from scratch, you're making it just all from the ingredients you have around your home. It's not coming from a box. You're just using your ingredients in your house and you're making things. So Jack gets to do two things here. He learns how to make a pancake from scratch because he has to go and get the flour. He actually has to he has to cut the grain, separate the little grains from the chaff. They have to grind to make the flour. He has to make sure the chicken lays the egg. He has to do all those different things, and it goes step by step by step to get those ingredients for his pancake. And then he has to go through and he has to actually make the pancake as well. So his mom gives him some big responsibilities to be able to have his pancake. But in the end of the story, I want you to think about that. If you were in charge of how do you feel? I guess here's the question. How do you feel if you've ever made something like this before, or if you've made something from scratch and you taste it and it's just so delicious? It just makes it the best when you make something that's your own and then you get to eat it. That's the best. So I hope you're hungry, because pancakes is probably what you want for lunch or dinner now. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.